All right, everybody, welcome to our Learning Together AI. This is a event of the Harvard Extension Alum Association. My name is Ariel Gamiño. I am the president of the association, and I'm really happy to have you, all of you here. We're going to be recording this thing, and we're hoping to record many of the learnings that we're going to be doing together. I have a few slides to go through to talk about the logistics, talk about what we're doing, how we're doing it, and then we'll do breakouts to talk about what we want to learn together, how we want to learn together. And I got a bunch of them, different topics. The idea is you should like the topic, doing it. Again, my hope is we can do this in 1 hour. And again, we're recording and we'll post it in the LinkedIn group and in the YouTube channel as well. So I'm gonna share my screen. I always miss my LinkedIn. Can you guys see it? All right. All right, Vidur, so if you can let people in as I'm talking, and I lost my slides. I'm always here. Where are they? Okay, right there. All right, so we are doing the series kickoff today. This is kind of what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna tell you about the series, what is Learning Together AI, your guides, who we are. We're gonna talk a little bit about AI, kind of where we are, and then what we're gonna learn together, the roles, the process, and again, the last thing we're gonna do is breakout groups. Because at the end, we want to know what you want to learn and how we're gonna learn together. So our series, this is the number 3 that we have done. We started about 2-3 years ago. And the idea was basically, hey, can we just get together and learn about AI? This new topic that is AI. ChatGPT is brand new, and believe it or not, ChatGPT is almost 3 years this November, which is insane. But this brand new thing that's called ChatGPT and this LLMs and all these tools coming up. So we in the association decided, can we do study groups to kind of learn together? And the whole idea is that just organizing ourselves to do collaborative exploration to learn together and to look at different topics that you can lead, I can lead, anyone can lead, and just joining the groups and learning together. And this year is going to be a little bit different. We hope to be a little better. But before I tell you about that, this is what you guys. Introduce myself already. I'm the president of the current Alum Association. I work for a company called Cognite. I am an AI engineer by day. I also teach classes through Pluralsight. Formerly, I was teacher with EDX, teaching digital analytic bootcamp at UT Austin, Macomb School. So I love education. I love AI, and what we can do with it. Vidur, want to introduce yourself?
Amazing. Thank you, Ariel. I'm Vidur. I'm an ex-McKinsey junior partner. I led the AI transformation work out there. I now own my own company where I provide AI services and also products to companies and individuals. I'm also on the executive team of AI 2030, which is a think tank for responsible AI. And as a part of this cohort, we are doing a partnership with them so we can leverage some of the speakers and the resources that they have to offer. I've been leading this with Ariel for some time, and really happy to be here.
Thank you very much. Very great. So where are we in AI? And I love this slide because kind of show where we started. 2023. This is OpenAI and DALL-E 3, and this amazing AI model that allows us to type a prompt and then get something out. And I think the prompt something like, give me the John's Harvard statue as a robot, and came up with that. And it was a pretty fantastic image that was created with technology that, again, now it's almost 3 years old. Last year, did the same prompt, but differently. See the quality in 1 year, how amazing AI changed from going to like a simple, still pretty amazing, but not as detailed, not as realistic, quote unquote, as this one here. And as we went along, this is what we had at the beginning of the year when we closed our last Learning Together cohort. Basically, Sora, OpenAI Sora, the ability for us to type a prompt, tell it about what we wanted, and creating a realistic video with shades and reflections and people in the background waving around, which again, super amazing from going to this to going to this in just a couple of years. And that's how amazing and that's how fast AI has advanced, uh, the past few years. Today, can you guys see the video? Yes. Okay.
Is it just me?
Can you hear the video or no? When I click on the video.
Yes.
Okay, great, perfect.
Or are its eyes glowing?
I see it too. Hold on, I'm filming.
Yo, it's moving.
The eyes just
No way.
getting down off the pedestal. Got video of this. This is
Like a
wild.
fully built robot under there.
Yes, it's like
Already recording. Can't believe this is.
So this is Thora 2, which came out 28 days ago. And again, super amazing now that you can just type a prompt and it creates not only a realistic video, but also a realistic, with a robot working around, but realistic in the sense of the quality of the video, but also with sound. And
Did that statue just blink?
No way.
It's opening up. This is insane.
I'm getting this on video. That thing's walking. Unbelievable. It looks so real.
literally a robot.
Statue of John Harvard just turned into a robot. I'm not missing a second of this. This is go.
And again, super easy to just meet. I did this last night. Typing a prompt, doing it 101, and doing a little cameo of myself and Mr. Kevin over here, and then being able to see it. And again, going from here where we were 2 years ago to that, it's pretty amazing. So that's kind of where we are.
Is it just me?
Get back here. Now, what I want to talk about too as well is, what else is going on with AI? And something that I wanted to talk about, and something that Andrew Karpathy, which is one of the founders of OpenAI and worked for Tesla AI, is what he calls software 3.0. And I've been a computer programmer for many years now, and I've been seeing the different things that we have. And way we used to do software before, what he calls software 1.0, in which we explicitly tell the computer the instructions. We explicitly build what program and the flow we want out of the computer program. And we've been doing this for years. New languages, new frameworks. The cloud came about. Mobile came about. Advances in how we deploy software. At the end of the day, we still had to explicitly type the software that we wanted. Software 2.0, which just came about 2017 or so, is when machine learning and neural networks were able to look at a pattern of data and being able to determine something that came out, the classic machine learning, which is. And now we are in what we're calling a software 3.0. So the ability for us to tell the computer what we want, what we need, and coming up with our software. And this is something that I do almost every day, which is called vibe coding. The ability for you to start with an idea, a problem, describe what you want, having AI generate some code, me providing feedback about it, and then doing the iteration on it. This will is exactly what I was doing before I joined this call for work, which is say, hey, I have this problem, I want to build this thing, this functionality in the back end. And me going back and forth with AI, helping it fix things that weren't working, or the AI still asking me questions about it. So again, this is something that we were not talking about it last year. So this is the speed of AI. And as you saw, Thora 1, the first image about a year ago, lower image, the physics were kind of funky, no audio generation. There's a weak character consistency if you look closely at the first robot that I show, there's people in the background that kind of change, and there were not really any new capabilities other than generation. Thora 2, and again, less than a month old, higher quality video. You have physics, so they're pretty accurate. You have the generation of audio, strong character consistency. In the back, you see people in the background, they're staying in the background. And new capabilities like cameo. So the ability for you to include yourself into the video, which again, super amazing. But there's also the human equation of this whole thing. Talking about the workforce, talking about what it means to all of us. And part of the study groups we want to form, part of the discussion we want to have is, what does that mean for us? What does that mean for the daily day-to-day of a job creation and how that's going to change. And this is like a slide that I created again with AI about, yes, there's a bunch of things that we're talking about job displacements. We're seeing in this now that tasks that were done by humans before are now actually done by AI. But there's also the emergence of job creation and the new jobs that are going to be generated. Definitely not going to be equally impacted. And I see it on my day-to-day, the stuff that I used to do before as a programmer is now what I'm doing today. And then there's some resistance to it as well. Goldman Sachs calculates that there's about 300 full-time equivalent global jobs that are going to be impacted, but it talks about the not the jobs themselves, but the task you do about those jobs. But at the same time, the World Economic Forum, and I'll put some links later on the LinkedIn, says that there's going to be a net plus of 78 million jobs created. So 170 million jobs created, 92 million displaced, but there's going to be a bunch of job creation, new jobs that were not there before. And again, this is something that I'm real fascinated by because this is something that's going to affect everybody and how we're going to change it. So part of the study group that I love for anyone to start in is how do we reskill? And part of this exercise, part of this learning together, is to learn how do we reskill? How do we use AI to be able to create some of our tasks in a way that is more efficient, but at the same time learning about how we do it better. And how do we prepare for this job transformation that's coming, that is happening as we speak? So again, discussions of vibe, this is kind of where we are in AI. Vibe coding is a thing in which you can just tell computers, AI to create something, and then definitely an impact on it. So the idea of this group is just learn together and do study groups and hopefully upskill, reskill ourselves as we learn together. So this is the plan. This is a journey that we're going to have, in which you're going to start with study groups. We adding a speaker series, so we can come in to be part of our study group. You can create it, you can join it. But we're also going to have a track of speakers. If you're going to come and present a specific topic, you're welcome to do so. We're going to try to utilize AI to summarize what we're learning, so we can learn better. So it's not just doing the study group, but maybe we'll have AI listen to the study group and then create summaries out of that. And then we're going to end up in March with some presentations. We're going to have a conference in March on campus that all of you are invited to come. And one of the tracks that we're adding, and we're still working on the details, is to do an AI track, meaning let's bring some of you to campus or online, and let's do presentations on that conference as well. But this is going to be our journey together, and I'm going to pass this to Vidur to kind of explain what's next.
Thanks, Ariel. All right. So as a part of this journey, we have something for everyone. We have different things that we can be involved with. There's going to be a side which is going to touch on the more technical side of AI. We are going to be talking about how can you use RAGs, how can you use how can you research into what is the new cutting edge the stuff in the field of AI. We'll also have the practical ways of implementing AI in your work. Ariel mentioned we would summarize whatever we are doing so that we can build something new out of it. More on the vibe coding side, we might have a cohort in which we are just talking about some ideas in vibe coding and creating some application within hours, which used to take weeks, if not months. We'll also have something around impact on society. Ariel started with how jobs are going to be changed. This is one topic that I'm very passionate about back in 2018, 2019, when COVID hit and a lot of jobs were changed, a lot of different things were happening. I think this is another time, another situation like that with AI. A lot of people are worried how their skill sets are going to be changed. And we are going to talk about how AI is impacting the society. And even apart from that, AI has multiple different risks which are involved with it. We are going to talk about that as well. So for us to learn together, there are different ways that we are going to come together and learn different formats. We'll have a dynamic learning format, which is going to be more about live sessions. We all come in out there. We have something to present. We learn with each other. Then we are going to have study groups. Study groups are going to be more around. We have different research that we talk about, or any one particular direction that we want to go into. All come together, maybe do a round robin around what each one of us is passionate about, talk about it, collectively learn from each other. Then also have interactive virtual sessions. Um, we would also have the external speakers come in so that we can learn from the SMEs in the market, and then also online collaboration. We would make sure that we have a community that everybody is joining and being a part of. So one thing that we want to make sure that this time we are doing that we are building up from the previous cohorts that we had was having a community, making sure all the learnings that we had, we are building on top of that. That is why we're going to use Discourse as a platform that we can form, and we can have all our learnings in one place, and then Google Meets, which is going to be more open for everybody to join. We'll still keep LinkedIn as our primary source so that we can have some broader communication through LinkedIn and emails that we have been sharing across. And Ariel, do you want to take this? I think this
Yep.
is a form that was already sent out.
So one of the things that we want to do is to have a kind of like a email list that we're gonna have a LinkedIn group, which announcements, links, and posts. But we're also gonna have if you'd rather do that by email, a form for you to fill out so we can send you the communications so you can have LinkedIn and communications at the same time.
So as a part of this cohort, there are different ways that you can be involved. You can form study groups, and you just don't need to lead it. You can be somebody who comes up with an idea, have a good proposal for that, have people following that particular idea, and start working together. If you're passionate about something, I'm sure a lot of people also are passionate about what you're thinking. So we form a study group. You can be a lead, you can be a moderator with it, and that is one role that you can take. Apart from that, you can also be a student within a study group. If you want to be an active learner, if you want to be a contributor, you don't need to lead it, but you can be. You could write a paper. You can provide your subject matter expertise, and that way everybody can learn from it. There's another format that you can be a part of if you have limited time, but you are an SME and you want to be a part of the whole cohort. You can come in and share presentations of what you are good at, or anything that you're passionate about in the field of AI. And everybody can learn from that. There's another way that you can bring in your friends, family, anybody that you look up to, anybody you believe that this cohort can benefit from. Please do bring them in, and they are going to be a part of this presenter role within the cohort. There's a fun slide. There are a few ideas that Ariel and I were brainstorming. I'm going to start with the first one. Given we are going to create some of the study groups, let's the fun one is going to be given FIFA is around the corner. So having AI to do something with FIFA, we could maybe predict, we could maybe create robots. I think with AI, there's so many things that we can do, and we would love to explore one of the study groups which talks about building AI and learning AI by doing something fun. Then the second topic is something which is very close to me. I'm already working on it. It's more around responsible AI. How can we create a resilient workforce? What are the different ways that skill sets, jobs are currently being changed? And how can we use AI to actually help people who are being affected by AI? The third one is more around the learning group automation, something that Ariel talked about in terms of summarizing all the learnings that we have. Why not do it together so that we can use some of the solutions out there? I'm sure a lot of you have heard of N8N, which is a very low code kind of a solution. We can start off with that and then go into LangGraph, LangChain, get our hands dirty and really create out a solution. And as we are doing something practical, we are learning from it and seeing the power of AI. The last one that I have in terms of the ideas, and we can think about more ideas, is having a group in which we teach each other, or if somebody is passionate about AI, they can also share what they know about AI. More like a one-on-one session for AI learning together. That is why we are all here.
Yeah, and these are good ideas. And again, you can come with your own ideas. But this is something that starting FIFA World Cup, as you know, is coming up next year. So that's a big one too as well. And we are mentioning it, animation with AI. How can we build that ourselves? And maybe we can open source it, which is one of the things that would be great.
All right, so this is where on the timeline we want to have the end goal in sight, and that is March when we are going to have our final presentation. How we usually take this is today is the series kickoff at the extreme left. The next part that we're going to do is think about and propose what we want to start doing. If there's a study group that we want to create, we talk about that. Let's take about 2 weeks to come up with it, 1 to 2 weeks, and then after that, it's going to be more around who wants to join what group, and so that we finalize everything, kick off everything. We want to make sure that we have at least 3 good months of study period. There's the learning together period. As a part of the whole format, Ariel and I will work together with all the different teams which have been formed. We'll also have a midpoint check-in to just see how things are going, any help which is required, and then the end goal is that we have a final presentation which builds upon all the work that has been done within the 3 months that everybody is working together and learning together. All right, so next steps. If you haven't joined the LinkedIn page, please join this link, and we're going to share the link in the chat as well. This is going to be important because this is where most of the broad communication is happening and has been happening in the past. The second one is going to be more around the study groups. Make sure that if you have an idea, if you're passionate about something, if you were thinking about something and you would like more people to work with you, or you would like them to learn from what you know, please fill this out and create a study group. Step 3 is going to be more around filling out the email so that you can receive updates. Once we have the study groups, we'll share the discourse, which is going to be the community that we have, so that all of you can be a part of that community, learn from each other. And then also if you're missing out on any of the calls, you can pick it up from wherever you left. There's going to be one source of truth, which is going to be present for everybody.
Okay, great. So that's basically our process. We talked a little bit about AI, talked about a little about the process, what we're doing together. Next, and we actually right on time, Peter, which is fantastic. Half an hour. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna do study groups. You should be able to choose your own group that you want to join. And I did select the other groups, but if you want a topic or you're interested in a topic, either creating a group or joining a group of a specific topic, I think the ones that we created are generic enough to do so. So we'll do that. We'll give you about 15 minutes or so. We'll come back, we'll discuss amongst ourselves and just make a discussion before we adjourn. All right, let me go ahead and do that. Let me start my share. Let me go breakout rooms, open. So you should be able now to join a group of your liking. And again, either you want to start a study group or you want to join a specific group. So thanks.
This was such a great discussion. I think we brought in all the balanced approach, talking about innovation with AI, talking about responsible AI, making sure that we are bringing in our collective knowledge. What an amazing group.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we had some great ideas on the works, the groups that we got together. Next step is to fill out the form. I'll join the linking group, fill out the study group form that we show, and optionally fill out the email for receiving the updates. And if you're watching the video, any of the stuff, you can reach out to me or Vidur. If you don't have the links, we're happy to give them to you. And we'll be doing a Discord group for it. So thank you everybody for coming in, and let's learn together, and we'll see you soon.
Oh, thank you very much. Quick question.
Yeah. All right, everybody, thanks again, and I'll see you soon.